Hi, today we have someone very special on the show. It's KJ from DG. Thank you, KJ, for coming on board. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is KJ. You can call me Lo as well.
Okay.
I'm the CMO for DG. I've been in the industry for the last 15 years. But it's just a bit of my background, but I wasn't started in the marketing. I'm actually an accountant by profession. And I spent the first 7-8 years was actually in the accountancy line. Started with the assurance work and then a bit into the consulting. Then, of course, I know I've been involved in the telecommunication industry, even in the accounting profession. So then it's only natural to move into a telco. So that's where I start my career in DG. I will be moving from finance to product, and then in the last couple of years was in sales before I take up this role.
Your journey has been fascinating, KJ,
Yeah.
because it's very, very, very rare to find someone to transition from a finance background into marketing today. You'd find people from other functions, but not really from finance. So, how was that transition for you? What were your challenges?
Yeah, but mainly it's because of I'm a person with always with a lot of curiosity and trying to find out how things works. So when you're doing accountancy, right, most of the time you look at numbers and books, right, and then you will always ask the questions beyond the numbers. What is actually going on?
Right.
How these numbers are being derived, right? How companies are being run.
Right.
That's really, that pushed me to say, I can't be just looking at the number without understanding how these numbers are derived and what sort of activities are derived, right? So that's kind of like the first point that pushed me, that always wanted to know why and how things are work. So that is only natural to say, instead of looking at the back end, might as well involve in the business and really understand, right? And then once you're into the business, then you discover a new thing. Business is really nothing without customers, right? And customer is either you're selling to individuals or you're selling to companies. And of course, the companies like DG, telecommunications, right? We're dealing with millions of customers. And then you will discover even more things, right? And different individuals have different needs, and different group of individuals will form a segments, and then you will see how the segment buy things, consume things. It's just never ending, right? And it's kind of like a perfect fit to a bit on my nature that is always have this curiosity to ask why and how things work. So it's kind of like I'm a bit lucky that ended up, in the areas that that's something that I enjoy and something that will also fit, the curiosities that I have.
Yes, I think lucky is one of it, but certainly you're very talented, because to be able to have the skills to not only survive but actually thrive in multiple job functions is actually a rare thing, and I think it's wonderful. So tell me, in all your experience, are there any interesting stories that you can share, something that would inspire the audience?
Oh wow, I've been moving from many different functions, right? But if you look at it, it's really the last 15 years, I'm actually in just one industry.
Right, okay.
And this industry is, I would say, they're super exciting, right? It's actually moving from, I think a telco is moving from a fixed business into the early years of mobile, right?
Right.
Where everyone are getting a mobile lines, and then the last couple of years, you're moving from within the mobile, you're moving from a lot of voice and messaging into really the internet.
Yes.
About the connectivities, right?
Yes.
And then I think one of the things that you have seen is, of course, now when people are connected, you open up even more opportunities.
Right.
Previously, you are just connected and then you communicate, right? It's either via voice or text, right? But once you're into the digital world, the internet world, it's opened up a totally different kind of opportunities, and at the same time, it's the challenges as well. Because in the voice and the messaging world, it's complicated, but it's not that complicated. You just connect A to B, and people make calls, and maximum you can make 24 hours call a day. And then during festive, you probably send a lot of messages. It's a lot more straightforward.
Yes.
But today in the digital world, people are connected with multiple channels, right? Social is one, and emails is another one. And then and there's tons of other applications that are meet your different needs, right? For example, transport, you will use certain type of apps, and then banking, you use different type of apps.
Yes.
I think one of the biggest challenge for our industries, is a bit like we always say that you're being commoditized. You're just selling a connectivities and you're being commoditized. Yes and no. Yeah, we are provide connectivity business. There's nothing wrong about it, but at the same time, right, we connect millions of users, right, and then and we have a lot of insights how people use how people do their works, how people entertain themselves, and how people, things like this. How do we really get into the insights and create new business opportunities and the new revenue streams, right? That's one challenge. And at the same time, on the other hand, while they are more connected today, right, they are almost into a perfect economy where price can be no almost overnight, right? And then you cut down a lot of middlemen. Layers of inefficiency are removed. Customers are smarter, and they are a lot more knowledgeable. They can react things a lot more faster. So for us to continue to serve the customers, right, is another form of a biggest challenge that we probably have not seen in the past.
Right. Yeah. So in this challenge, what are you doing to actually overcome it?
Yeah, I think the first thing first is we have to continue to be relevant, right? And then when, by providing connectivity, obviously is one form of relevancy. But the other thing is since they are all highly connected and they are mostly into the digital world, I think one thing first is we have to be part of the game. Therefore, I think we have to connect to our customers digitally. Right? We shouldn't just talk to them via contact center or send them messengers anymore. I think those are probably not one of the relevant form of communication anymore.
Yeah,
right?
The customer has changed and marketing has to follow.
Yeah. So I think the first thing is connect them via digital. So that's probably the step one. And once it's into the digital channels, as I say, the opportunities is the sky is the limit. It's about how you. It's also a bit about how you want to segmentize it and what sort of position that you want to take. What sort of problems that you're solving for them, right? So we have to take our positions, and it have to be something that that people they will trust us. Something that have to be different. Yeah. So
it's standing out and trying to gain the trust.
Yeah.
Of the consumers. Yeah. But how do you stand out? It's such a noisy world out there. What are you doing to put the brand out there?
Okay, first thing is really I think the brand itself, right? We are a telco. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think we have to accept the fact, right? Even though it's commoditized, I think basically we have to first we have to provide the basic things right, which is the connectivity, it's the good experience. It's about the network. I think that's still super important. Right. The value, the value that they get. It's not about cheap, but it's really about the more transparent in terms of pricing, what they pay and what they get. So it's about the value, it's about the network, and then what is even to differentiate is really the user experience. How they deal with us, how we interact with them. I would think that these are the three things when you add it together will create a slightly differentiation, right? At least, if we can't be a full digital player, we should be at least a digital savvy telco, rather than just a telco. So that's kind of like a bit on what we are working on.
Okay. So you're shooting for the stars, but anyway, you're going to make it because you still have got plan B. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now plans for 2018.
Yeah. it will continue to be a digitization process, and the journey. I think the journey started, but we are continuing to work a lot into, how do we engage the customer in digitally, and then how do we connect them more via digital. Yeah, so that was kind of like the big game plan.
And what's the one thing you're going to do different for 2018, professionally or personally?
Personally, I have not really thought through yet, but I think it's still a super exciting journey. Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's a bit my personality and also a bit the industry that I'm in. It's kind of like it's kind of like the perfect fit.
Yes.
That I will never get bored, and
Yes.
it's forever challenging myself, right? So that's a bit more personal. But on the other hand, the journey is really, we would like to connect them digitally, right, and provide the basic connectivity. But what is next is obviously is how do we bring more value and transaction into the ecosystems. Yeah, how do we turn ourselves to be a bit like a platforms, where we are not matching buying, selling, but we are really bring things that relevant, things that we think that is relevant and useful to our customers, and connect them, and then in a seamless process, and make it as simple as possible. These are probably the next things that we're going to work on. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I wish you all the best, KJ.
Thank you.
All the best for 2018 and the years ahead. Hope to have you on the show soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.